Once again in this video, I have a song that I've never heard before, and I'm going to listen to it for the first time, and then I'm going to try and learn it on the drums. And just like the other videos that I've done, I'm not going to learn it stroke for stroke. I'm just going to try and get the structure of the song down. So intro, verse, chorus, interlude between the choruses, that kind of stuff. Just get the structure down, and also the feel of the song. So maybe some important things, like maybe if a kick pattern is really important to the feel of the song, then I'll try to get that down, or like certain signature fills, stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm just going to go for the feel of the song, not as much the every single stroke around the kit. So mostly feel. So I'm just going to listen to the song from start to finish for the first time because I've never heard it before.
Try to protect it and cover your exits. They're coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you, time will conspire with the enemy. And the earth turned round, the sun went down, and it was lost and never found. Let me crawl away, I know, and you can wait for your miracle. Stop me now, everything is the same, turned inside out. I got no one to blame, I'll blame myself, cause I can't stop, and I can't stop. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. Try to predict it, just sit back and listen like a fly on the wall in the catacombs. You're running your mouth off every time we talk and holding your breath when you're all alone. Chase me out through the crowd, can't stop me now. Everything is the same, turned inside out. I got no one to blame, I'll blame myself, cause I can't stop, and I can't stop. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. If you just let go, you can cover your exits and try to protect this. Coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you, time will conspire with the enemy. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. If you just let go, there's no one to talk to, no one to unlock you. Time will conspire with the enemy.
Sweet, it's a cool song. The thing that grabbed my attention first was the sweet little shizzle happening on the hats. I really dug that. I think it's not, well, for me, it's not a straightforward song. It sounds like there are quite a few things that I need to concentrate on while I'm playing this, but basically my structure is just to go through the song from the beginning and to listen to the parts and kind of dissect them piece by piece, part by part, and then to just put everything together at the end. So I'll just start with the intro, and I'm just going to listen to it again to be sure that I've got it down. I think something that I should mention is when you listen to the song for the first time, don't feel that you need to be good enough to then just immediately be able to play it. I will not be able to play this song now. I know the feel of the song, I know the groove of the song, but I will still definitely, because this was the first time that I heard it, so I will definitely have to listen to it a few more times to be able to confidently play it. So don't feel the pressure of having to like play it right after you heard it the first time. I don't know anybody who is that good, so that's why I'm going to take the song piece by piece and dissect it and learn it that way.
Try to protect it and cover your exit. They're coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you. Time will conspire with the enemy, and the earth turned round.
Cool, so that's pretty much the groove that I really dig. I like hi-hat stuff. It's kind of a nice little groove. The drummer did a good job. I don't know who he is, but he did a good job. I dig the groove. So, so I'm just gonna try to nail that groove. I'll see what I can do. But I dig it. I dig the groove. It's a nice little combination.
Try to protect it and cover your exit. They're coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you. Time will conspire with the enemy, and the earth turned round.
I'm just going to try again. There was a kick that I kept missing. I'm just going to try and see if I can do that again.
Try to protect it and cover your exit. They're coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you. Time will conspire with the enemy, and the earth turned round. The sun went down and it was lost, never found. Let me crawl the way I know, and you can wait for your miracle. Stop me now.
Cool. Like I said, I'm not going to go note for note, but I like the feel of that. So I think I feel confident enough to move on to the next piece. That's such a sweet little groove. I really dig that. The next part is then what seems like the pre-chorus. I'm just going to make sure, and I'm just going to listen to that again. But it seems like a variation of the first one. It's got the same kind of feel. From what I heard, it seems like it's like a 4 on the floor kind of vibe with some cool little shizzle happening on the hats. I'm just going to listen again to make sure.
And you can wait for your miracle. I've been running away, can't stop me now. Everything is the same, turned inside out. I got no one to blame, I'll blame myself. Cause I can't stop, and I can't stop.
Yeah, that seems like a pre-chorus to me. From what I can hear on these headphones and from an MP3 file, it seems like 4 on the floor. I'm not sure, but I'm going to play it as a 4 on the floor anyways, with some cool little shizzle happening on the hats. Because that groove is friggin' sweet, I'm just going to play the song from the beginning, because I enjoy playing it, and up until the chorus. And then I'm going to stop so that I can give the chorus another listen.
Try to protect it and cover your exit. They're coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you. Time will conspire with the enemy,
Just want to make sure about that stop at the end of the pre-chorus.
I'll blame myself 'cause I can't stop. And
Yeah, I let the hats ring, but it was kind of the same vibe. And then I'm just going to listen to the chorus. Obviously, there's then just that little gap and then the chorus starts. So I'm just going to go from the little gap and then I'm just going to listen to the chorus.
can't stop, and I can't stop. Oh, come on and I'll take you under. If you just let go.
Flap, there's a lot of happening there. I'm just going to listen to it again, see if I can get that first part.
'Cause I can't stop, and I can't stop. Come on and I'll take you under. If you just let go.
Okay, now I'm going to try to play it. Will probably most probably completely butcher it, but I'm just going to give it a go just to see if I can nail the feel of it much more than the strokes.
Blame myself 'cause I can't stop, and I can't stop. Come on and I'll take you under. If you just let go. You can try to predict it, just sit.
Cool. I butchered it, but I feel comfortable with that. I think that kind of communicates the feel of the chorus a little bit. I'll try to tighten it up the more times that I play it, but I feel confident enough to move on. Then it just seems like there's a little gap after the chorus, and then it goes back into the first verse. If you've seen the previous videos, then you'll know that I like copying things, and if you haven't seen them, then I'll just tell you now. I really like the idea of just copying something. So telling myself that if this is what the first verse sounds like and I'm able to play the first verse, then when I get to the second verse, if they are the same, then I essentially just play the first verse because it's the same. So I don't have to remember this is what the first verse sounds like, chorus, now a completely different second verse. Sometimes that is the case, but if it's not, if it is kind of the same pattern, if it's mostly the same pattern, I just copy it in my head. So maybe if there are some changes, then I'll make a mental note. In the middle of the second verse, there are like 5 extra strokes that isn't in the first verse. So just remember that when you get to it. But if it's not, actually either way, I just copy it. So that's what I'm going to do in this case. I'm just going to listen to the second verse to be sure that it's the same, and maybe make a mental note of any slight differences that there might be. If the difference isn't big enough, then I'm not even going to bother. Like I said, I just want to be able to replicate the feel of the song. But I'm just going to listen to the second verse to see if it is the same as the first.
You can try to predict it, just sit back and listen like a fly on the wall in the catacombs. You're running your mouth off every time we talk and holding your breath when you're all alone. Chase me out through the...
Not as long as the first verse. Half of the first verse is what my feeling is of this, and it goes pretty much. The first part of that little pattern is played on the hats, and then it goes onto the snare drum immediately. It doesn't really do the whole first run on the hats and then on the snare drum. It kind of goes to the snare drum ba-da-ba-da-ba pattern immediately. So I'm just going to see if I can't play that. The cool thing about the end of the verse is that it sounds like it just goes into the pre-chorus again. So I'm just going to play a copy of the first piece, because the first piece is verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and now I see what the second verse is like. So I'm assuming that the pre-chorus is the same and that the second chorus is the same. So I'm just going to kind of wing it and hope that I'm right. If I'm not, then I'll just go back and listen to it and make some changes. But let's see what's going to happen.
You can try to predict it, just sit back and listen like a fly on the wall in the catacombs. You're running your mouth off every time we talk and holding your breath when you're all alone. Chase me out through the crowd, can't stop me now. Everything
I took a chance and it seems like there are some small differences. I'm just going to listen to the second chorus. For the most part, it did feel the same. And I kind of knew it well enough to be able to have a little fun with it. But I'm just going to listen to it again just to be sure of some small stuff that I heard in the background there.
I want to blame, I'll blame myself, 'cause I can't stop, and I can't stop. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. If you just let go, you can cover your exits and
Cool, I'm just going to try to play that again. It doesn't seem that it is that difficult or that I made that many mistakes. I'm just going to go for it again. Actually, the second part of the chorus feels a lot simpler than the first part. Kind of just sticks to that, that driving groove. So I'm just going to see if I can't play that again.
stop me now. Everything is the same, turned inside out. I got no one to blame, I will blame myself, 'cause I can't stop, and I can't stop. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you, time will conspire with the enemy.
Cool. Yeah, that was pretty simple. It felt good. I feel confident enough to move on, even though I didn't nail every single stroke, but you know how I roll by now. So I'm just going to listen to this bridge part. It seems like it sounds the same as that sick, funky little hi-hat chisel that happens in the pre-chorus. I'm just going to listen to this and make sure.
Talk to, no one to unlock you, time will conspire with the enemy. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go.
Sweet, that seems simple enough. And now I'm just going to make sure that the last chorus is the same.
If you just let go. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. To unlock you, time.
Cool, that seems simple enough. I'm gonna try and play the bridge towards the end of the song, and if I can get that right, then I'm gonna play the song from the beginning and see if I can remember all the other stuff, all the other mental notes that I made. But for now, just the bridge until the end of the song.
If you just let go, you can cover your exits and try to protect this, coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you, time will conspire with the enemy. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let
That felt comfortable, so I'm going to try and see if I can't play the song from the beginning. I think I'm going to make a few mistakes, but I'm just going to give it a go. It feels comfortable. It's a sweet song. I'm enjoying it. So let's just see what happens if I play it from the very beginning. Like I said, the whole first part is copied in my head to be the second part. I just have a few mental notes that the second verse isn't as long as the first one. There's a stop, well, the same stop at the end of the pre-chorus, I think. Well, I'll see what pops up while I'm playing the song, but I'm just going to give it a go from the beginning and see how much of that I can remember.
You can try to protect it and cover your exits. They're coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you. Time will conspire with the enemy, and the earth turned round. The sun went down, and it was lost and never found. Let me crawl the way I know, and you can wait for your miracle. I've been running away, can't stop me now. Everything is the same, turned inside out. I got no one to blame, I blame myself. 'Cause I can't stop, and I can't stop. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. You can try to predict it, just sit back and listen like a fly on the wall in the catacombs. You're running your mouth off every time we talk and holding your breath when you're all alone. Chase me out through the crowd, can't stop me now. Everything is the same, turned inside out. I got no one to blame, I will blame myself. 'Cause I can't stop, and I can't stop. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. If you just let go, you can cover your exits and try to protect this. Coming from angles you won't see. With no one to talk to, no one to unlock you. Time will conspire with the enemy. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. Come on in, I'll take you under. If you just let go. If you just let go. No one to talk to, no one to unlock you. Time will conspire with the enemy.
Such a fun song to play along to. I think if I wanted to cover the song or do an artistic or creative interpretation of it, I would have to run through it a few more times, but I feel really comfortable with the structure and with some of the stops. And I kind of started messing around with some grooves and some fills. Just started having some fun with it. But like I said, if I really wanted to get the song under control, I would have to play to it probably, I'd say 2 or 3 more times just to kind of dial it in. And it's a bit rough around the edges now. I have an idea of the structure, but I would have to refine it a little bit. But I feel really comfortable with it. It's such a fun song. So I hope watching me kind of dissect the song from start to finish gives you a better idea of my methodology and how I learned to play a song by ear.